Florida is where Steven awaits. Steven, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Good afternoon, guys. How are you doing, Ken and Jasmine?
We are living the dream. What are you doing?
I needed to call you guys. I really needed this.
Good.
Okay, so I apologize if it's lengthy. Let me know.
Don't apologize. Lay it out there.
Okay, so basically I work with automotive in the automotive industry. I work close to 60 to 80 hours a week. This is not my sweet spot. This is not what I moved into mainland for. I wanted to do graphic design. Now, as we all know, inflation is kicking in and whatnot, so I'm worried about, the reality that I can actually do what I want, which is graphic design. But I struggle with the fact that, inflation and whatnot. So I'm like, you know what?
All right, hold on. Steven, let me jump in, okay?
Okay.
What does inflation have to do with you getting qualified, getting connected, and getting started, stage 2, 3, 4, into graphic design? And I'm not trying to put you on the spot. I really want to know what you think the answer to that is. What does inflation have to do with that?
Because I don't want to do what I want, because I feel insecure about my finances, even though I'm in baby step 3. So therefore, I kind of just suck it up and say, this is good enough money, so I don't dare going out.
So let me ask you this. How much money do you make right now? Are you a mechanic?
No. Well, a light mechanic, if anything.
What do you make right now? Salary, hourly? Give me a 12-month range.
Hourly, I make $19.50, and a week, more or less, because of the many hours, around $1,000 a week. Okay.
Right. So you're yearly, you're out 38,000, 40,000?
Around there.
Okay, great. All right. So what I'm hearing is that you're afraid to pursue graphic design because of the cost and the economy and how toilet paper is more expensive, gas is more expensive, a combo meal is more expensive. That to me is irrelevant. Can we replace your $40,000 a year in graphic design? What's the answer to that?
Yes.
Yes. Jasmine, you want to weigh in on this?
I do, because Steven, I know that you are working a lot. It's just facts.
Yeah.
60 to 80 hours a week. But I have to tell you that oftentimes business owners will not want to work 40 hours for somebody else and then end up working 100 hours a week for themselves. So let's not have a misnomer.
Yep.
And then secondly, I don't know how long it would take for you to create a piece of content every single day.
Oh, let's stay right there. What would the content be? This is great, so I'm jumping in. What would you create every single day from a graphic design standpoint right now? What would you create?
So here's the funny thing for both of you guys. So I was doing illustration work. I even got requests from people, over the internet. I actually got to, have a little taste of what my own little business would be. I went as far, guys, as to purchase an iMac, graphic tablet, and I told myself, I kid you not, this is kind of like chronic. I told myself, you know what? These are just dreams. Pack it up, and I return everything back.
You didn't? Okay, but Steven, I love your heart, bro. You started to answer the question, and you wandered. What would you create every day right now? You know you love this type of art. Let's just call this what this is. Graphic design is art. What would you create right now? You started to answer it. What would you do, or what did you do?
I used to do logos. I used to do print work on T-shirt design. Yeah, a whole lot of that.
Okay, Steven, I'm just going to tell you, this is a total vibe. So I'm going to infer, and forgive me if I overstep my bounds, but I'm not really wrong on this, because this is what I do. I think you have a hard time identifying what it is you want to do because you don't know who you want to sell to.
Yes.
And I'm telling you, Steven, you will have the utmost clarity on what it is you want to do. So with no rules, I'm going to put you under the gun right now. This is the Ken Coleman Show. This is no room for excuses. And you can change your response after this. But right now, in a dream world, tomorrow you wake up, who are you working for? Yep. Just pick somebody that we might know. Who are you working for? And what are you doing for that person? Sell it to me. You got to sell it to me in 10 seconds because so say it out loud.
Oh, my goodness.
Say it. By the way, she already got you to think of an answer, and you're just not saying it. When she set you up, there was an answer at the front of your lobe. Say it. Just say it. Go.
graphic novels, comic books, and the entertainment industry.
Okay, what are you ashamed of?
Ooh.
Because you're ashamed of it. I know it. I hear it all over you. So let's own this, because we can't go any further until you own what you're ashamed of about that answer.
Well,
It's okay. Say it. What are you embarrassed about or shame? Am I wrong? I'm okay being wrong. Am I wrong that there's a little bit of embarrassment or shame or something there?
yeah.
I'm wrong or I'm right?
No, you're not wrong.
I know. I've done this a few times. So what are you ashamed of? Let's own this right now, and then we're going to get breakthrough. What is it?
Because I guess it's not the kind of work that, the men in my family do.
Okay. Dude.
So, yeah.
Listen to me. Listen to me. That's breakthrough. You have the talent to do graphic design, true or false?
Yeah.
When you do it, time stands still and your heart expands to the point that you don't even know how to describe it. Am I right or am I wrong?
Yes, sir.
You love creating aha moments for people, whether it be entertaining them, capturing their attention, or making them proud with your design. True or false?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that's coming from somewhere? It is. You were created to do that. Do you believe that?
Yes, sir, I do.
Well, I don't care what your dad or your uncle Larry or anybody else in your family thinks about that. If you don't own this shame and embarrassment, the very people you're afraid of disappointing are going to be people that you resent deeply. Do you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Stephen, can I ask you, are you Latino?
Yes.
I know. Okay. So from a Mexican, my dad is Mexican, my mom is Puerto Rican. I get the Latino culture of what men are typically classified to do. And I want you to know that they're going to have an opinion, Stephen. Do you not think that your dad, your uncle, your grandfather, your cousins see your talent and see you sitting on it and they're just begging you to fight for it? And at the end of the day, Stephen, they are always doubters and unbelievers until they become believers. That's it. And the only person who can guide them over the bridge from doubt to belief is you. They're actually wanting you to do it. They won't tell you that. So what they're going to do is, because they love you, I believe your family loves you, Stephen, and because they love you, they want to keep you safe. Yep. And they think that keeping you safe is to keep you do your automotive job, get the job that pays the bills, the family got here, this is what we have to do, we have to be responsible. And you know what, Stephen? I want you to be responsible. I want you to be so stinking responsible. And it's so responsible that you wake up 30 minutes early, you bring out a sketch pad, and you sketch. And what you do, Stephen, is underneath the tungsten lighting by a bed lamp by your bed, you take a picture of a daily sketch. And your project, Stephen, for the next 30 days is to prove to yourself. I don't give a rip if anybody likes it or leaves a comment. Your objective, Stephen, is to prove you want it. Because, Stephen, there's a one thing about dreaming about it, and then there's another thing about doing it. Yeah. If you do not have the discipline, Stephen, to sketch every single day, I'm going to tell you, Stephen, you don't want it bad enough.
Oh, yeah.
But I know you do.
Yes, you do.
And you want to know what, Stephen? You know that your cousins and your father and everybody else, they're going to look at this and be like, what does he think he's doing? Yeah. And that's going to make you want to stop.
That's right. And you got to know that they're speaking from fear.
That's right.
They're not just afraid for you. They have their own fears. They never chased their dreams, and they're dealing with those nightmares, and they're projecting that on you. I'm going to tell you. Now, Jasmine gave you a great homework assignment. I've got a couple more. You ready? I want you to do exactly what Jasmine told you to do. That's going to get your heart pumping again, and the passion is going to overcome the fear. But here's what else I want you to do. I want you to find as many graphic design listings, job openings as possible. This is just information gathering. I'm not telling you to apply yet. I'm telling you to get out there and look at it and do your homework. You must overcome this false narrative that you can't replace your current automotive $40,000 a year income in graphic design. You must see that you can make that and more. And then we go, okay, what do I need to do to get qualified? I'm probably already qualified, but if I've got to get qualified, I'm going to go do that. I'm going to bust it as I'm busting it right now, 60, 80 hours a week. And I'm not going to get tired because I know that this gig right now is keeping me on the platform to step, not jump, step into the next opportunity. So we got to find what's out there. Then you prove it to yourself that I can make 40 or more in graphic design, and I'm going to get qualified for it. Then I'm going to get connected. I'm going to get out there. I'm going to get the gig. Now, one other thing I want you to buy, it's probably less than $15. It's a friend of mine by the name of Austin Kleon, best-selling author out of Austin, Texas. He's got a great book. In fact, 2 books I want you to get. One is Steal Like an Artist, and I want you as an artist to be consuming other graphic designers that you admire. And it's going to fire you up, and it's going to help with the exercise that Jasmine gave you. Second book he wrote, super thin books. You can read them in 10 minutes. Show your work. Because coming out of my friend's assignment, I want you to start showing your work, start producing. That's what she was saying. Put it out there. Put it out there. Get some freelance gigs. Put it out there with pride. And Stephen, before you know it, you're going to look up and you're on the path to doing what you were created to do. There is no shame in your game. Do you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, Stephen, thank you so much for calling us. Thank you for trusting us.
Can I add something at the end?
I want you to add
Am
whatever.
I jumping in?
No.
Am I like,
I was
welcome
just
to the
kidding.
Jasmine Star Show, my guest today
No,
is
you
Ken
are my
Coleman.
guest. She is Jasmine Star. but yeah, because I want to reflect on something we heard there and you touched on. Go ahead. What are you going to say?
I want to tell Stephen and anybody else who's listening
Come
to
on.
resist the temptation to put a timeline on it.
I agree with that.
So what happens is we put a timeline on when we expect our miracles to unveil.
Yeah, that's a guarantee for frustration.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So it's going to be so important that we disassociate ourselves with our finite expectation. Because everything that Stephen is doing now is preparing him for the thing that he wants in the future. But what if Stephen's destiny was in a decade and not in a day?
That's my journey, 10 years.
Absolutely. I think it's
10 years to
everybody's
get to this.
But it's everybody's journey.
I
And
know.
yet we look at it and be like, that must have happened to Ken in 10 days.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And so it's so important for us to step into
That's
the
it.
thing that we have been called to do
I love
and
it.
want something mighty and great, something that's beyond ourselves. Because I think that if we did it entirely on our own, wouldn't that not be the case for us to be tempted to think that it wasn't some sort of bigger purpose, divine providence, something outside of ourselves that was speaking into us, that was calling us to do it? So the goal is to look back at something and be like, I don't know how that happened.
Yeah.
Well, it had to have happened. The pitfalls, the frustrations, the anxiety had to happen so that you know that you're standing in your purpose to do something bigger and greater. That's on the back of that.
And folks, I hope you heard what Stephen said. He is not and has not pursued this to his full potential because he's so worried about what other people think and even the people that are closest to him. And I'm telling you, I've heard this a million times. I've heard it a million times. And if you're not careful, you will not be who you were created to be because you are worried about what other people think. And I'm telling you, it keeps more people on the sideline than anything else I hear. What will other people say and think? And the reality is, that's none of your business. Be who you were created to be.